Hey guys, hope you're having a great day. So I wanted to make this video because since I've been working at the garden center this summer, I've had a lot of customers come back after they've bought like hanging baskets and that type of stuff, and they've said, I bought a basket of Super Petunias and after a month or two, they've lost all their blooms and now they're kind of just green, looking exactly like these do. And I wanted to just show you this kind of prime example of what you can do to get the Super Petunias to keep reblooming again. So basically the backstory with these plants is we were on vacation for a week or so, and then I was at my dad's for a week. So I specifically haven't been taking care of these Super Petunias for a little while, and I didn't give specific instructions to fertilize these or do anything with these rather than just water them. And I realized that obviously I probably should have given a little more instruction to that, and that's kind of why they got to the place they were at. So if I'm sure I have a picture or video or something that I can throw onto the screen to show you what these actually looked like a little while ago, because they looked awesome, they looked amazing, but now they're not looking super hot. So the biggest thing about these plants is that they just didn't get fertilized enough. Another thing too is that they also can benefit a lot from getting a nice trim in the middle of the summer, and I didn't really do that. And when they have a ton of blooms on them and they're filling out the space nicely, you don't always have to trim them. It kind of goes case by case. But in this sense, now that they don't have any blooms on them, it would be a good idea to just trim them back a little bit so there's less for the plant to manage. And so that's the first big step that I'm going to be doing. A lot of them also, I don't know how well you can see it, but a lot of them are just going to be a lot of bloom stalks, and there's not so much of like leaves. A lot of the leaves are on the underside, so if I can cut a lot of the bloom stalks off of it and leave more of just the leaves, then that would be better, because a lot of these are just spent blooms, not buds that are waiting to open. So that'll help get the plant managed a little more under control and put it under a little bit less stress. And then the other thing too would be to give it fertilizer, because this is the food that they need in order to bloom. And because these plants are such heavy feeders, they need a lot of fertilizer in order to bloom. So that's the next step that I'm going to be doing with this. So once I cut it down, I'll give them a double shot of the fertilizer from what they should be getting. And that'll help just kind of rejuvenate the plants and push them to get more blooms. So I just want to preface the video too by saying I'm just going to show you what to do today, not the final product. And the biggest reason is because I'm going to be going to college in less than a week, so I'm not even going to really be seeing what's going to be happening with these. But I just want to at least show you what you can do for these plants. So why don't we get started with the first part. I'm going to speed it up and just show you what this looks like once it's all pruned up. Just that'll be it. Just want to make sure it isn't going to be an issue. I did see some signs of aphids on these as well. I know that I had that issue earlier on in the season. I don't think it's really too much of an issue now, but just to make sure it's not an issue, I just want to show you what that actually might look like. So you can see on here that there's like some white spots, and that's from the aphids throughout there. You will see the actual aphids because they're still big enough where you can see them. But I'm just going to give it a quick spray to help get rid of this issue and make sure that no aphids come back onto the plants. So to stop something like aphids, you can use something like this Rose RX. This is a nice organic option. You can see that it gets rid of aphids as well as a bunch of other things as well. I'd say if you want to get like a good all-around organic, you could use Captain Jack's from Bonide, but this will work really well too. And all you gotta do is shake it up a little bit and then just spray it right on. Alright, so the last thing I'm going to do is feed the plant. So I have from here, this is Miracle Grow Water Soluble Bloom Booster Flower Food. And with this, what you want to do is, if you've used like regular Miracle Grow before, pretty much the same thing, but this is obviously a different mix. So I have the scoop in here, as you can see, and you use 1 scoop per gallon of water. But because the flowers have absolutely no blooms on them, I'm going to double it. So I got 1 scoop here going in. And then I got 1 more scoop going in. Add your water. And I'm gonna use this entire gallon of water in here. Even though they don't have a really large reservoir, you wanna make sure that when you're feeding that the water goes all the way through and is also draining out pretty well. Because you wanna make sure that all of the soil gets saturated and that the plants are gonna get all of that fertilizer. So I'm just gonna water this in. And the soil is dry, by the way. So these are really gonna wanna soak up all of the water and the nutrients because the soil is dry. Not to say that you can't do this when it's still moist, and it's better off to not let it dry out as much as it is, but if it is drier, then the plants are really gonna wanna soak it up right away. So now that that's taken care of, you can see that the water's dripping adequately. I probably didn't even need to add that much, but better off to just be safe than sorry. These are going to take a little bit of time to kind of bounce back, but we pretty much did everything that we needed to do in order for these to jump back. But just give it some time. I'd say give it a good week or two. I'm doing this in about the middle of August, so they still have a couple more months where they can bloom and grow on. And because of the hot temperatures, they should bounce back even quicker. But yeah, doing this in like July or August is always a good time just to give them a nice cutback during the season, especially if they do lose their blooms. But yeah, besides that, if you have any questions for me or any other comments, feel free to put them down in the comment section down below, and hopefully I'll be able to answer all those questions for you. And besides that, I hope you like this video, and I'll see you in the next one.